Hey guys, welcome back to Hands On channel. In this part of the series, we're going to get down and underneath the car. I discovered that it's actually easier on this front motor mount to get to it entirely from the bottom side. You just have to remove a little piece of plastic. Hopefully you guys can see that. I've moved that plastic trim that normally mounts right here. I popped it off and moved it back. This one was just zip tied on, so apparently at some point or another someone lost the push-in buttons and they put some zip ties in there. So I cut those zip ties off and moved that panel out of the way. And now we're going to go in underneath the car, take our breaker bar, or I'm sorry, a cheater bar, and probably 14 millimeter, and I'm not sure what size the center bolt will be that goes through the mount. So stay tuned. We'll get the camera set up and try to show you as much of that as we can. All right, guys, this is the bolt we have to get off of here. Okay, yeah, that's a 14 millimeter. Okay, we get the cheater bar on that thing. See if we can break it loose. Now I do have just a little bit of pressure on the jack here so that it's holding up. It should hold up the transmission well enough for me to get this bolt out. That one actually had a nut and it fell off on the back side, but it dropped down into my tray somewhere. Okay, there it is, found it. But I should be able to pull this out now. Okay. Alright, you see it moved a little bit when I did that. Next up, we've got a couple of bolt holes down here, and I'm going to get the light down here on the bottom side so you guys can see this, but then we're going to basically take these two nuts out. They should be 14 millimeter. Okay, now we can see up in there, it's actually a couple of bolts in there, up in the holes. So I'm going to try to zip these out with the impact driver. I think they'll come out. There's one. And there's two. So now we need to pull this up out. It's just finding the way it goes through there basically, and it doesn't appear to me that there's a front or a back on this. So let's get out and take a look at this thing and see how bad it was. We've got our top side here where we can get a little light on the subject. And it feels really floppy. It's not very stiff, it's very flexible. Let's go around to this side. Oh yeah, there's some tears and rips in it. As I twist on it, I can see that some of that rubber is just right in there. It's dry rotted. Yeah, right down there, there's a tear at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this one was moving quite a bit. So let's see how that looks compared to the new one. Okay, this one is quite a bit stiffer. And I'm not sure what these, every one of these mounts has this weird rubber thing on it. I'm guessing that's for some kind of a balance point, maybe to take some of the vibration out of the motor, but they seem kind of weird to me. But I've never seen that before. This one moves, but I'm pushing pretty hard, and that's as hard as I can get it to go. So I can tell this one's quite a bit more stiff than the other one. So we're gonna come back here in a minute when I get down on the ground again, and we're gonna put this new stiffy in, and hopefully that'll help to make this ride run nice and smooth. Just to show you guys, I made a mistake. There is a front and a rear to this thing, and the tab, the part with the tab sticking off is the rear. And I guess my theory on that is if your bolts ever came out, that little tab there would hang underneath the transmission or motor mount and keep it from coming out of the car. I'm not sure if that's what that's for or not, or if it's even necessary or if it matters, but I am going to go ahead and flip it around, and I'm glad I didn't go ahead and tighten the bolts up until I got up topside and checked that out. But that's how it should go in there. You know, this part toward the front and the tab toward the back. All right, so now all we have to do is line up that hole there. By raising up the motor, I'm going to have to readjust my jack and move it forward. I'm actually on the transmission there, but you see I've got a board there to protect it. So I'm going to raise that up just a little bit and get that hole to line up, slide the bolt through, put the nut in on the back side, and tighten it up. Okay, we're just going to go a little bit at a time, and I'm not even using a bar. I'm just raising it up a little bit here. And of course my light falls. What we're trying to do is get this hole to line up here the best we can. And I'm going to go ahead and take this screwdriver and just kind of wiggle around on it a bit and see if I can get it to line up without going anymore. I think that may work, or if nothing else, we're very close. Find the bolt here. That's not it. That's it. Let's see how close we are. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Now if I can get it to go through the other side, we'll be golden. Can't feel the back side here. It's in really nice there. I'm going to have to go top side and look at the back of that hole and see what it looks like, but we're very close. Okay, I'm looking at it from the top side. Maybe I'll be able to get a little more leverage on it from up here. There we go. Okay, the bolt's in. I just need to start that nut on the back side. I'm going to try to just tighten it up with my impact driver. If that works, hopefully I won't need a backup wrench on this side over here, because if so, that's going to be a little tricky. I may have to tighten it from the top side. We'll see. All right, last step on this mount is just to tighten it up. And yes, that nut, it has a little grip on the back side of it. So I didn't need to use a wrench on the other side, so that was nice. Get the impact up here just to speed it up a bit for it. All right, that should be plenty tight enough. I am going to come back in and just give it one more tighten with my hand just to make sure that, you know, we got it nice and tight. And I've got to put this plastic piece back on, put a few new zip ties in. But that shouldn't take me more than a few minutes. But that's what it looks like, guys, with the brand new engine mount in there. Not that bad of a job. This one was a lot easier than the rear one. So, you know, this one's probably a 45-minute job to an hour. The one in the rear is an hour to an hour and a half, I would guess. So next up on the series, we're going to come back and do the two uppers. If they go fast enough, I'll try to do them both in one video. If not, we'll have to do it like this, where we break them up into multiple parts, because, you know, it's about uploading time. It takes a long time to upload a long video. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you sticking with it, and good luck on your repairs. This will hopefully take away all of our vibration issues. In the last video, we'll come back in and we'll talk about whether or not it solved the problems or not. So again, appreciate you tuning in. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And until then, we'll see you next time.